from a strip show, an online adult content strip show, a dance show, she might be deplatformed by Facebook. She might be deplatformed by Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. So she's looking on Twitch. She's looking at a private platform I think it's called ChatX or something like that. And one thing is payment, right? If you get your payment platform shut down, you're out of options because that's a business. So increasingly, folks like her, I'm encouraging everyone is to go digital, go crypto, go into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more secure than the dollar. It's a finite supply. It's completely decentralized, can't be augmented. They're just printing dollars right now, devaluing the dollar, right? It's called quantitative easing, but really it just means they're printing money. The stock market's back up to where it was, but earnings are still at the bottom. It doesn't add up. It's a huge, huge, huge problem. Guys, thanks for being here. My name's Ryan. Let's dive in with some questions. What can I answer for you? How are you guys doing? What's good? Where are you guys in business? Are things rolling for you? Are you struggling? What's good? What's good? What's good? I just want to shout out to everybody who's watching. If you want to shout out your business, let's do it. Let's go. Let's shout out your business. Let's hear where you're at. I love doing that. I love getting the inside scoop from folks. Okay, let's go, guys. Good morning. My name's Ryan. Let's get some love going, guys. If this is helpful, interesting, exciting, tag Y. Don't just do the bald thumbs up. Let's level up. So I'm always thinking like, how can you stack vertically? How can you add value? How can you continue to grow? And that's the move. So message me. I want to hear from everybody who wants to make waves in the next 5 to 10 years. If you're thinking in your head, I'm going to crush, let's connect. Let's connect. I want to surround myself with as much of that energy as possible. I want to surround myself with as many people like that as possible. Legally, what are the tools you need to succeed legally? You need corporate structuring. You need to understand taxation, right? Because taxes take your money, right? You need to minimize your taxes. You need a CPA and a lawyer who can be in your corner, who from the beginning can structure the company. And if they don't understand corporate structuring, if they don't understand S corporation elections, if they don't understand shell companies and anonymous trusts and series LLCs, if they're not comfortable operating outside of state lines, using the advantages that other states have as tax havens, you're going to get screwed. You're just pumping money where you shouldn't be, right? Which is into taxes. This is how the wealthy crush. So let's take some questions from you guys. I want to hear from you. What questions do you have? How can I help? If we don't get some questions, I'm gonna start using that wizard emoji thing and putting that little widget hat on my head, whatever. Let's go with some questions though. How are you guys doing? What's good? How can I help? This can be a general Q&A, right? So if you have, let's just chat. If you have legal questions about your immigration case, let's talk about that. If you have questions about bankruptcy and Chapter 7 bankruptcy and what income level you need to qualify, we can talk about that based on each state, right? Each state is different. Each state cost of living is different. So the threshold for bankruptcy filing is slightly different in each state. I get calls from folks for criminal law, real estate transactions, folks who have tried to represent themselves for sale by owner and just they've gone without an agent and now they need help. So this can be a time for you to ask questions. I have a business partner who I'm working with on an apparel project, and we're going to launch it super soon. So I'm not going to say much about it, but I'm really, really excited about it. I love partnering with artists. And this particular guy, shout out to David Brown. I'll shout out his name so you guys can check him out and some of his work. I'll shout out his name, David Brown. But he asked me, could you do a Q&A with my artist friend? And I said, sure. And we could talk about what are some of the issues. Tomic, Ulrich, what's good? Some of the issues that artists face. And in my sense, okay, there are legal issues that artists face that are peculiar to artists. And really they're compounded because artists don't think of themselves as business people, which they should. First and foremost, an artist is someone producing a product, just like a peanut butter company or a t-shirt company or Amazon or Walmart, right? They're a business and they need to conceptualize themselves as a business. Jen Parker, good morning. Awesome way to generate a buzz. Killing it. Jen, thanks for the love. Appreciate it. Shout out where you are. Shout out city, state, if you're comfortable. And then Jen, do you like your 9 to 5? Do you like your job? If so, what do you do? If not, what's next? What's next? That's the question. Guys, I'm just so fascinated here. I want to shout out a couple things. You are you are too young to give up on professional happiness. You are too young to give up on professional happiness. I don't care if you're 67. You are too fucking young to give up on the fact that you can find meaningful work in this life doing something that you love. Okay? You might say like, well, I don't have the work ethic. Your work ethic will go through the roof if you're doing something you love. 1,000%. Jamila Picas, I invested in some stocks. Can you talk about the tax consequences? Yeah, good questions. So stock is a unique. It's in a tax bucket all of its own. So it depends on how long you hold your assets for, right? So a question for Jamila: are you day trading? Are you looking to hold these for 5 years, for 5 months? What's the situation? Because it does matter. Long-term capital gains, short-term capital gains. If you've held your stock for 1 year or less, you will pay short-term capital gains, which are taxed the same rate as ordinary income. If you hold them for longer than 1 year, your tax will be at the long-term capital gains rate, which is much lower. Okay, so this is kind of capital gains tax 101. So when you sell real estate, when you sell stock, you have to analyze: is it short-term? Is it long-term? Long-term is more favorable. Okay, long-term is more favorable. So this is sale of intellectual property. This is sale of stock. This is sale of business assets. Okay, so that's that. Jamila, super curious what you invested in. If you want to talk about your portfolio, are you actively invested in a fund, an index fund, like a Vanguard fund? Are you actively invested in a few stocks that you feel super passionate about? Guys, I feel really strong about Bitcoin. I feel really strong about Bitcoin for one reason and one reason only. It is a limited supply of a coin, right? It's a limit. There's only 21 million coins out there. Is that right? Somebody double check me on that. 21 million. Yeah, $21 million 21 million Bitcoins. That's it. That's all there's ever going to be. And so it's a limited thing. They can't print more, like the Federal Reserve. They can't print more like the U.S. government says, oh, quantitative easing, we'll just print more and devalue the dollar. So it's fixed. Look at the U.S. stock market right now. It's up. It's back to pre-COVID levels, but this is hugely problematic. Earnings are low. That's a recipe for disaster. You see venture capital folks holding cash right now. Jen Parker, branding is a priority. Branding is a HAL. Halliburton. Let's take a look at Halliburton. So Jamaica Picas invested in Halliburton Company, which is a drilling oil and gas wells company out of Houston, Texas. And let's look at their last month. 6 months. Yeah, they're tracking the rest of the market. They're trading for $12.42, up 49 cents. So they're 1 year. They're not quite back to where they were a year ago, and they're generally down. This is a good time to buy Halliburton. Branding is a priority, and aside to the above, cap rates, etc. I'm an entrepreneur and inventor. I have a 9 to 5 while I'm working on my other endeavors. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida, relocating to Austin eventually. Super cool. I've heard great things about St. Petersburg and Austin. Never spent much time, never been to either place, but I've heard that both are artist colonies. Super cool. Jen Parker, let's connect. Jen Parker, send me a text message. I'll see if I can respond directly to you. And guys, I want to connect with anyone who's, just by being here, you're connecting. God damn it. How do I respond directly? Jen Parker, can you send me a text message? 763-316-8323. Guys, the world is built on tribes. And what are tribes? Tribes are people who connect. What do I want to do is connect. Why? Because I want to build. Why? I just like that feeling. I like that feeling of building. As a lawyer, you get the legal tools to build. You can be, for me, as a lawyer, savvy in business, tax, and marketing, I can work with a lot of brilliance. People doing brilliant 3D art on one hand, people launching digital currencies on the other hand. Speaking of digital currencies, everybody should be ears up to the fact that the premier global soccer team, right? Barcelona Football Club just launched a token, a coin, a digital coin. They sold it for €2, sold out in 6 minutes. They raised over $1 million like that, just by selling a fan coin, What do they get in exchange for the fan coin? Like access to special content, the ability to vote on team things like jersey colors, things like that. Anyone in business, anybody should be thinking that they should create their own coin for $300, which is what it costs to create your own coin, put it up on the offering, sell it to fans and subscribers, and make money. And it's not just about making money with this, right? It's not just about Jen Parker, what's good, my business, Our Tribe Collective. Jen Parker, everybody who's watching right now, after this is over, check out Our Tribe Collective. I'll do it right now. Facebook is a community organization. It says it's not available right now. Our Tribe Collective. Jen Parker, can you give us a link? Can you give us a link to Our Tribe Collective? And we'll see. Hang on, guys. 2 seconds. I want to check this out. Our Tribe Collective is a group whose mission is to inspire and cultivate personal growth. Super cool. Let's go. Let's go. Everybody who's in Our Tribe Collective, check out the Make Good Project. The Make Good Project. Our Tribe Collective is a group whose mission is to inspire and cultivate personal growth and well-being among all women. We encourage proactive unity, education, support. Super cool. Super cool. Everybody who's there, check out the Make Good Project. Our Tribe Collective is for women. I love working with women entrepreneurs. They have so much hustle, so much grind, right? Because they have ideas. They're smart. They're hardworking. I love it. I love it. I want to help you guys, support you guys in any way possible. David Brown, what's good? I want to get back to this notion of business owners. So 2 notions for business owners. One is to sell a product. Even if you're in a service industry, service in and of itself isn't scalable. You have to sell a product to be scalable, meaning you have to make money while you're sleeping, not just bill your hours. So if you're into hair cutting, or if you're into tattoo artists, if you're into a service, think about the way you can productize that. So we were talking with Chef Blake Shelton earlier about how he's a chef. He does cupcakes, right? He does cooked baked goods. How can you take that and make your secret sauce? Sell it direct to the consumer on Shopify, on Amazon, and also instead of just a $4 bottle of chocolate mousse or a kit to make chocolate mousse, you make it a $14 buy because you add access to yourself and you say, hey, there's a little barcode. We'll have a little Zoom session where I'll let you guys all see. We'll walk through how I make my special mousse, right? With all my artists, with all my experience. So that's idea 1, is to productize. Let's take questions, and then we'll go with idea 2 for anybody who's in business. Idea 2, and it involves initial coin offerings. Guys, let's go, let's go, let's go. How we doing? Let's take some questions. Legal questions for artists, legal question for business owners. Guys, where are you with your businesses? How can I help? What's good? What's good? What's good? The number one thing for artists or for startups is to realize that you're starting a business. If you're an artist, to conceptualize yourself as a business. You're an artist, you're a business. You're an artist, yes, at heart, but you're a business now. You're in it for, and it doesn't mean you have to be a punk. That doesn't mean you have to sell out. It doesn't mean you have to wear a suit and tie. It doesn't mean you need to surround yourself with just money, 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 money. But it means you need to conduct yourself with as much head as heart. And that marriage is what the Make Good Project is about. So check out the Make Good Project. I want to see everybody tagging, loving the Make Good Project. Guys, let's go. Let's go with questions. Everybody who's watching, if you have a legal question, let's say you got a DWI, let's say you need an expungement of a previous whoopsies. Let's go with some questions. Let's add some legal value. If you guys have questions about business stuff like trademarks, copyright, registering your business, what business entity, which state, huge decisions. We can talk about that. So just ask. Let's just ask. Let's have questions. Let's practice asking. Ask, ask, ask. Ask, 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 ask. What do we got? 26 minutes left. 26 minutes. Then today we have a meeting at 8:30 to discuss anonymous land trusts and series LLCs. Guys, that's the move. Anonymous land trust and series LLCs. Why? Can protect all your assets, make them invisible to creditors. Such a power play. Okay, Yinos Oyuganes. Don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry. Which is better? Can I bring you on camera to ask this question? I'm gonna see if you want to come on camera for a new small business. Let's talk about this question. I want to hear what's up. Can you request to come on camera? Winos, whatever, however you pronounce your name. I'm sorry, I'm butchering it. I'm awful. Come camera. Let's check it out. Let's talk this through if you're in a good spot. Otherwise, just say you're not in a good spot, and I'll break it down. But if you guys want to come on camera, it's just easier sometimes to flesh out like what are you up to, what are your goals, because there's no one size fits all answer. No, I'm in bed. All right, so you're in bed. Get the hell out of bed. What are you doing in bed? Get out of bed at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mountain. Was it 5:30 in LA? Who's in California time? California time, is it 5:30 there? Yeah, I think it's 5:30. Get out of bed. Unbelievable. First get out of bed, then worry about which business entity you're going with. No, let's take this question seriously. LLC or organization? Okay, so business entity choices. 99.9% of the time, LLC. Why? It's easy. So what I mean by that is if you're just going to start one business and you're going to operate in your state and it's local and that's it, and it's not going to hold a bunch of assets, like you're just going to run, let's say, a pizza shop. Here's the deal. Okay, and everybody should share this because this is not talked about in business school. It's not talked about generally. It's really hard information to get. So an LLC is the move. That's conventional advice. But what's not told is that you should have a series LLC in the state of Texas or in the state of Wyoming. Okay, one of those two states. Even if you operate in Alabama, you get a series LLC through Wyoming or Texas. And we can talk about why this is. Just those states are one of the few states that allow series LLCs, and they're the most favorable jurisdictions to protect series LLCs, and they have the least filing costs, the least fees. So you get a series LLC. And what does this mean? It's super simple. Basically means that you have a parent LLC, a parent company, and a child LLC. The parent company has no assets. So the basic answer to this question is you get an LLC. And the more sophisticated answer is you get two LLCs. One LLC will have all of the valuable stuff in the business. If it owns a building, if it owns intellectual property, anything that's valuable, you put in one LLC. And you call this the child LLC or the holding company because it's holding assets. The other LLC is the operating LLC. It is the shell corporation because it's a shell, meaning there's nothing inside, no assets inside. That is incorporation law 101. Okay, and it gets more nuanced if you have more rental properties or more business assets. But that is the knowledge that you should share. So if you want to tag someone who needs to know that that's what's up in terms of forming a business, and guys, I think the conception is that this is too complicated and it is too expensive. This will make it so you cannot be sued. That's the perk. It will make it so that suing you is so complicated to figure out where the assets are that a lawyer will tell the client, look, I can't figure out what's going on with this business. It's not worth it. Like, I'm not going to take this on contingencies because I can't find their assets. You combine the strategy that I just talked to you about with an anonymous land trust, and it's like bulletproof. You create such a haze between the person who wants to sue you and where your assets are, you render yourself bulletproof. Or virtually bulletproof, as lawyers can't guarantee outcomes of events. Sonny, did that answer your question? Sonny, did that answer your question? Ryan Schultz Baker, did that help you? Sonny, did that help you? Bam. Bam, bam, bam. Guys, what's good? My name is Ryan. I am a lawyer. This is a Q&A. You can be in Botswana right now. You could be in the UK. Either way, the world is changing, and the basic upshot is that digital, online, creative, at scale is the recipe for success in business, regardless of what continent, country, city, state you're in. Jen Parker, who's with Our Tribe Collective, the issue. Sonny, I'm glad you got that good. Ryan Schultz Baker, I wish I would have known that. Oh no, Ryan Schultz Baker, the thing is though, it's not too late. You can start your own business. You can start again. You can start from scratch. You can build. You are young. Everybody is young. I don't care if you're 77 years old. You're young. You're young. Guys, please share. Let's take a second. Share and why. Because by sharing, you're taking action. So, at the end of podcasts, when they say, if you like this podcast, leave a review. You should leave a review because it's in your best interest, because you'll be noticed by the people who put on that podcast. So if you're interested in real estate investing and you leave a review on the real estate investment podcast, they'll see that and they'll be more likely to see you. And then they'll be more likely to notice your content, which is what you want. You want attention on your content. So share, leave a comment. Here's a perfect example, right? For us, if somebody shared and they tagged me and they wrote like 3 sentences, I would see that and I'd be flattered, because you tickle my ego and be like, oh my God, this person wrote this thing. I'm so excited. And I thank you. And then you just got in contact with me. You got in contact with me not by asking, but by giving. So that's the logic of how sharing benefits you. Let's go back to Jen Parker. The issue I'm having is a relationship with money and monetizing to a concept, I suppose similar to artists. We'll definitely check out the Make Good Project. Please do. The Make Good Project is the marriage between money and meaning. It is the legal tax and marketing for startups, entrepreneurs, and small businesses. It's the law firm that I launched to have this conversation with Jen Parker, this conversation with the artist, this conversation with the person who's like, oh, damn, I didn't know that the LLC structure could be parent-child and be bulletproof from lawsuits. Okay, for my day job, I'm in advertising and promos. I have done some things with Snoop and other similar artists, and I'm having a disconnect knowing what to do, but not sure where exactly to start in a logical and scalable way. Scalability is huge. You want to be forecasting, right? You want to be thinking long-term growth, right? You want as much as possible some sort of passive income where you don't have to be killing yourself, because eventually you'll burn out. Sunny, I quit my job 2 weeks ago to pursue my dream, so any info is great to me. What's your dream? Let's go. Let's talk details. Let's talk brass tacks. What's your dream? Ryan Schultz, I don't even know where to start anymore. I had a big lawn care business and got sued for everything I had. Guys, this is why the conventional advice that insurance will protect you is BS, is bullshit. Insurance is in the business of collecting your premium money and not paying out claims. That's the business. That's why it's cheap. It's cheap to have that protection, but it's super limited. It's super limited, and oftentimes when you're sued, the insurance company is the first person to walk away. Not always, but more often than not, and you don't want to be relying on that. That's why corporate structure is a huge protection. And it seems complicated, right? It seems complicated, it's just easier to call my insurance agent than to structure corporately. But corporate structuring is legal. You can set up a legal jurisdiction. The state legislatures have allowed for it. This is how the wealthy people don't own any assets, really, right? So you can only be sued and lose things you own if your assets are held in trust and you're the beneficiary, meaning you can use that house, that car, that boat, that yacht. You can use it as the beneficiary, but you don't own it. Then if you're sued, you don't own that yacht, that trust. You're just the beneficiary of a trust that owns it. Ryan Schultz Baker, yeah, insurance screwed me big time. I hear it too many times. So when I'm working with real estate investors who are buying rental properties and looking to rent them out and to add more wealth to them and their family, the number one thing I'm advising them is, yes, insurance. Yes, you get liability insurance. Yes, you get umbrella insurance, but you also use the parent-child LLC structure called a series LLC to hold these assets on top of, so vertically integrated on top of a land trust, so that you're protecting. So you have your assets in one LLC, your operating company in another LLC, and then that whole schematic is owned by a land trust, which isn't registered with the state. So it's anonymous. So nobody can figure out when they want to sue you who owns what, because it's held by an anonymous land trust where the trustee is an attorney. The beneficiary is the client. And because of attorney-client privilege, I can't tell whoever asked me who the beneficiary is. It is brilliant. Super easy, but just not taught, except now. I think everybody should share that just to get the knowledge out there, just to put the knowledge on the table, because it's there, it's legal, it's completely legal. Check out series LLCs and anonymous land trusts. Cooking right now, I run a food club. People pay me a month and they get a meal delivered every weekend. Super cool. Then I do pop-up plates during the week. Dream is to own a restaurant or something bigger. Bigger dream is to make it into a TV dinner aisle. Okay, the biggest value add for you is to have someone around you at all times, 24/7 if possible, 12 hours a day better, right? From morning till night, dawn till dusk, the whole time, stream. Let people come on the journey with you, 1,000%. Guys, people think that social media content, like, we want to see your Instagram pics. Instagram pics are bullshit. Like, we don't want to see the highly stylized, perfect, like, manicured this. Like, that just makes us feel gross, sad, like we're not good enough inside. We want you to take us through the drive-through, or when you're putting on your socks and like the socks are disheveled and you're disheveled and like you're brushing your teeth. That raw footage, that is just that is such a value add. So Sonny, if you take us along for the journey, we will trust you, we will love you, and we will buy your proprietary peanut butter or your proprietary chicken nuggets that have chicken on the inside, cheese on the outside, and then on the outside of that, the bread. God, that'd be baller. What if they did a chicken nugget with chicken, cheese, ketchup, and then the breading? Somebody should make that happen. That is just nuts. Ryan Schultz Baker says, I don't even know what business to start into. What do you find yourself doing? What do you spend? The answer to this question, Ryan Schultz Baker, and anybody who asks what should I do? What do you stay up until 2 a.m. doing just for fun? Right? What are you just ridiculously fascinated by? Because that's what you want to leverage. That's your passion. You want to take that passion, leverage it up, ratchet it up, turn that into a business, and monetize that. The question is how. So the first question is, what's the passion? The second question is, how do you monetize and leverage it? And the answer to the second question is how, is just to create content at scale, right? And attract. So your passion will monetize because you'll attract people who can sense that you're being real and that you're interested. That's the currency. Holy shit, sports cards. Holy shit, Ryan Schultz Baker, you've got to come online. Sports cards are fire. I don't know what kind of sports cards you're into, if it's basketball, baseball, football, wrestling, but sports cards, if you know anything about sports cards, flipping, grading, the amount of money you can make in the next 6 to 12 months, sports cards, if you're into Pokemon cards, any kind of cards, anything on cards are wild right now. Why? Because people have attention and love and passion for sports, and there's no outlet because the teams aren't playing. Sports cards are huge, man. Sports cards. Basketball, baseball, football. If you have sports cards, if you love sports cards, let's go. Ryan Schultz Baker, message me, man. Send me a text message right now. I will send you my number. I think I have it set up on Shortcut so that all I need to press is a semicolon and then it auto does my number. Yeah, let's go. Nina Roach, what's good? Guys, thanks for watching. My name is Ryan. I'm a lawyer. This is a Q&A session. So if you have questions, it's time to get answers. Super hot episode today. 12 more minutes left. Let's go. Let's go with questions. Let's go with comments. Ryan Schultz Baker. Guys, this has been a business episode rather than a general legal smattering. So if you liked this business format and you preferred this, the general Q&A, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what exactly you're into, because really I want this to benefit everybody, right? So if you really dug the vertically integrated parent LLC, child LLC, and anonymous land trust, if you really dug that, let me know. Ryan Schultz Baker, I just got it. Sports cards, go. Sports cards. And Ryan Schultz Baker, if you're not monetizing the sports card thing, Ryan Schultz Baker, give me more. Give me 2 seconds more. Tell me what you're up to with sports cards. Are you just like a bump on a log, or do you see that there's ridiculous market potential for sports cards? Or do you think I'm just joking? Let me know. Give me your honest hot take on sports cards. Sports cards, guys, Jesus, sports cards are huge. Sports cards, if you're on Twitch and you're streaming and you're gaming, huge. And you have a following of 100 people, huge business. And I'm talking huge business. I mean, it's not only a learning opportunity for how business works and how to monetize, how to leverage, how to arbitrage. Guys, what does arbitrage mean? Arbitrage in business means buy low, sell high. That's it. Buy low, sell high. It's the rule of business. in commodities. Buy low, sell high. Sports cards are commodities. Knowledge is commodity. Real estate's a commodity. Ryan Schultz Baker, that's your business, man. You went from landscaping to sports cards. You went from old school to new school. I run my own sports card group. Holy Jesus. Ryan Schultz Baker, would love to learn more about S Corp and Parent LLC and Land Trust. Yeah, Blake Shelton, this is what's good. Okay, guys, let's do it. Let's do it really quick. We got 10 minutes. We can dive in. This is a 30,000 foot overview strategy of kind of like what nobody will teach you in business school or law school, and it's super valuable. Okay, so check it out. There's a couple concepts to wrap your mind around. The first is, what's a trust? Trust is a legal piece of paper that gives you rights. We just made it up out of thin air. I could create a trust on a piece of paper right now, call it Ryan's Trust, and then I can take this house that I own, go to the county, and then deed it to Ryan's Trust, and now Ryan's Trust own it. Trusts are people. They're legal entities. They function just like people, right? So here's the deal. If somebody wants to sue you, like let's say you mess up, and you're a doctor, you mess up, and then people are going to sue you for $1 million because instead of taking off their left arm, you took off their right arm. You have a lot of risk. Whatever it is, you don't want to be sued. Whatever you're doing, you don't want to be sued. So trusts and parent-child LLCs are used to prevent lawsuits. They have nothing to do with taxes, right, for the moment. So if you're interested in taxes, wait a minute, and we'll talk about S corporations. S corporations are for taxes. Anonymous land trusts and series LLCs are to make it so that you can't get sued. And here's why. Here's the basic reason why. The super basic, Facebook Live, share the hell out of this reason why. If a lawyer is looking at you because somebody says we want to sue this guy, and they're looking at you and you're the guy they want to sue, and they can't tell what you own, they're not going to sue you. They're not going to sue you for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're not going to sue you if they're getting paid on contingency because they can't see that you own anything, in which if they won the judgment, if they got a judgment for $1 million but you don't own anything, they're not going to make any money. A lawyer's not going to sue if they can't make money. Okay, the client's not going to sue if the client's paying up front and just rolling the attorney fees. The client's not going to sue unless the client knows that you have assets. Does that make sense? So if nobody can, so the question is, how do you make it very difficult or impossible for somebody to tell which assets you own? Well, if you own your assets in your own name, anybody can run a script trace on your name, go to the county property recorder and see what you own, right? Anybody can. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to have your assets just owned in an LLC because those are public record too. Every LLC, every C Corp is registered in the state, okay? So that stuff's not private. You have to figure out how to get your ownership interests private. How do you do that? And get them off the record. How do you do that? Land trusts. Land trusts are trusts that can hold land. They can be anonymous because all trusts are anonymous. So here's the thing. How do you get your land that you own in your name into a trust? You would think that by moving it into a trust, you trigger the due on sale clause of your mortgage, which states that you can't transfer this property to anybody else without having to pay the full balance of the note. So you can't get into the trust. Wrong. The St. Germain Act says that if you transfer your property to a trust, it doesn't trigger the due on sale clause if you're the beneficiary, and you will be the beneficiary of this trust. So that is how you move your property into a trust. The trust is completely private. So you'll record that the trust owns the property, and it won't be like 123 Main Street Trust. It'll be like Blue 6 Fin 4 12 Trust, completely anonymous. Nobody can tell what's up. It's not like the Ryan McLaughlin Trust. That gets recorded in the county. Nobody knows that nobody knows who is the beneficiary of that trust except for the trustee, and that's completely private. That would be me, your attorney, right? And because of the attorney-client privilege, somebody says, who is the beneficiary of the trust in which you're the trustee? I can say, I can't tell you that. I legally cannot tell you that because it's a client, and that's privileged information. That is how you make yourself bulletproof. Now, taxes, the tax strategy has nothing to do with land trusts. It has everything, and it has nothing really to do with LLCs. You want to have an LLC first and foremost, but that's not how you get tax benefits. Tax benefits on federal taxes come from IRS Form 2553. and that is the election for S corporation. That is a huge election because it renders some of your income tax-free in terms of self-employment tax. That is the move. If you guys want to have an S Corp election for your business, it's not too late. You can get it done retroactively for 2020. If you want in, check out the Make Good Project. We have a class tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central. If you can't make it, don't worry. We'll have other options available. The class is $99, and we guarantee that we will save you at least $1,000 in taxes. We will prove this up by doing a side-by-side comparison within the first 5 minutes of the class, looking at what is your tax liability, your tax bill with just LLC, and what is your tax liability with an S Corp election. And if there's not $1,000 savings, we give you your money back. And that's because we guarantee more. Blake Shelton, thanks for the comments. Nicholas Anderson, Lauren Kelly, good morning. What's good? Blake Shelton, I saw the next live is for S Corp. Blake Shelton, join the class. Blake Shelton, join the class. Have your friends, entrepreneurs join the class. It's going to be super to the point. No bullshit. To the point, to the point, to the point, to the point, to the point. We're going to talk about and fill out form 2553. We're going to get everybody the S Corp status. We're going to talk about what you need to pay yourself for a reasonable salary and how you back that up. And we're going to talk about how you run payroll through QuickBooks. The class is tomorrow. If you can't make tomorrow, don't worry about it. We're going to have remote, non-live, other sessions available for folks who have other stuff going on. Get the class tomorrow for $99 if you're interested in S Corp, because in September, our grand opening launch of the Make Good Project is going to be gone, and the full price is going to be $499 for that class, $499 versus tomorrow's class is $99. We guarantee you'll save us $1,000. So even if you wait till September, you're paying $499 to save $1,000 or more on your taxes, right? But the numbers make so much sense. If you make $100,000 and you would like S Corp status, you'll save yourself at least $7,000 easily. We guarantee it. It's just you don't have to pay self-employment tax on the part of your salary that is a dividend. And you pay yourself a reasonable salary, and then you pay yourself a dividend. The dividend is self-employment tax-free. Check it out. You can't pay yourself a dividend if you're just an LLC. You need to go LLC plus S corporation election. That's the strategy. LLC on the state level, S Corp election with the IRS. S Corp election allows you to pay yourself salary and dividend. Dividend is self-employment tax-free. What is self-employment tax? Self-employment tax is 15.3% on top of state tax, on top of federal income tax that every small business owner, self-employed person gets slammed with. 15.3% is baller huge. It's $15,300 on a $100,000 salary. More if you $100,000 of income. So get the election, sign up for the class. Somebody who's watching, who's going to sign up, pin the Make Good Project, please. Somebody tag the Make Good Project, and then quick shout out to the Make Good Project. Guys, we're hiring, we're taking on team members. We are tax, legal, and marketing for small business, for entrepreneur, global. So we're working with a firm in Singapore who's launching a digital currency there. We're working with a guy who's doing a helicopter touring business and doesn't know anything about Airbnb. We're hooking him up with how to bring people to Botswana. Super excited about that guy. So we're just doing a lot of really cool stuff. Locally, we're working with artists to launch t-shirts for the elections. It's going to be a huge election, 2020. Huge election. So I'm working with a lot of artists artists powerful. Ryan Schultz Baker, we are hiring. We're growing. Our business philosophy is to triple down in hard times. This is a hard time. I don't think Americans know it. I don't think Americans feel it quite yet. We're in the midst of a hard time, guys. Time to tighten the belt, time to triple down. If you want to work for a growth, check out the Make Good Project. If that content resonates with you, if this live stream resonated with you, message me. There is opportunity for folks willing to work hard, do creative at scale, period. Now is the time. Now is the time. If you want to work for yourself, good, do it. Work hard. Get up at 4:30 a.m. Educate yourself, educate yourself, educate yourself. The world is changing so fast. Launch your own crypto coin, not to make money on the sale of the coin, but to learn how it's done so that you can help others do it. Okay, if you're Blake Shelton, launch your own gluten-free, insulin-friendly, monk fruit sweetened cake mix for $4.99 as a special on Amazon add an exclusive access pack for $15, not even a $20 product, and get yourself out there in a scalable, product-sensitive way. All right, guys, peace. That's it. 8 a.m. I got an 8:30 meeting I got to prepare for, talking about anonymous land trusts combined with Series LLC. If you guys are fascinated by that concept, text me and we'll talk. It's a super fascinating concept. So much potential for the real estate space. Everyone who owns one or more pieces of real estate should be using a Series LLC in either Texas or Wyoming, regardless of whether you live there. You don't need to live in Wyoming or Texas to utilize their Series LLC's laws, period. All right, that's it. Bye-bye. Remember, please, if this is good for you, if this is helpful for you, share. Tag a friend, tag a business. Blake Shelton, what's good? Everybody who's interested in food, who's interested in baking, who's interested in cooking, who's interested in the hustle, check out Blake Shelton. If you're interested in food, if you guys are gonna eat breakfast today, if you're gonna eat dessert, if you got some dessert in the fridge, I know we had cake for my 3-year-old's birthday this Sunday. Check out Blake Shelton stuff. It's awesome. His TikTok is awesome. It lends itself. I mean, food porn is a real thing, and Blake Shelton's the king on that front. So happy that he's here. Happy that he's learning about nerdy stuff like taxes. That's the move, guys. If you're interested in cooking or car maintenance or flowers or daycare or growing bananas or organic coffee, you should also be interested in tax and marketing. All right, let's go. Sports cards. Bye, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Central. Peace.